Think of the most beautiful moment of success. You achieved something in your life, something big, maybe a job, maybe a decision, or a moment you'd been waiting for years. And when that moment came, people surrounded you. There was applause, there were congratulations, there were, "Did you know you'd always succeed?" There were, "I'm proud of you." Messages came in, calls came in, people saw you, wanted to see you, wanted to be by your side, and you, in that moment, felt surrounded, supported, loved. Now I'm going to tell you the truth about that moment. The vast majority of that crowd wasn't cheering for your success. They were proving their own existence. "I know him," they said. "I was by his side," they said. "I'm part of this success too," they said. You were a vehicle, a shining vehicle. And shining vehicles, they draw people to them. Then the shine fades, a brighter vehicle emerges, and those people disappear. Machiavelli saw this 500 years ago. He observed the courts. He observed the crowds. He saw that the loudest voices are the ones that fall silent the fastest. And he wrote, "The prince should not rely on the crowd's applause. For the crowd, what it deifies today, it will destroy tomorrow." Today, I'm showing you the anatomy of that crowd. Who is really there? Who is just there for show? And most importantly, how will you recognize the person whose loudest voice fades the fastest? Are you ready for this? This channel shares truths like this every week. Most people aren't ready to hear them, but you're here. That alone sets you apart. If you're ready, subscribe, and let's keep going. Write this in the comments. I see the intention, not the applause. Why is applause dangerous? Applause makes you feel good, and that's exactly why it's dangerous. Because applause, it numbs you, it blurs the truth, and it makes you see the people around you as something they're not. The man receiving the applause thinks, "These people love me. These people are real. I can trust these people." But applause is the cheapest form of social currency. It carries no cost or risk. It has no price tag. It lasts a second. It requires nothing. And most of the time, it means nothing. How many times in your life have you clapped even though you didn't truly believe it? How many times have you said "great" but thought something different inside? How many times have you congratulated someone but didn't really care? Everyone has done this. You've done it. I've done it. Because applause is a social reflex. It's done without thinking. It's done without calculation. And most of the time, it's done without any real emotion. Machiavelli wrote, "Look not at people's words, but at the calculation behind their words. For words are free. The calculation explains everything." What is the calculation of the person who applauds? To be seen with you, to be remembered with you, to have a share in your success. And this calculation, when you fall, no longer works, because being seen with a fallen man brings no gain. Being associated with a fallen man is useless. Sharing in a fallen man's success is impossible. And when that calculation breaks down, the applause stops. The crowd disperses. The voices fall silent. Write this in the comments. It's not the applause, but the intention, not the words, but the actions. Why does the loudest voice fade the fastest? If you're ready, let's dive into psychology. The person who speaks the loudest, why do they leave the fastest? This isn't a coincidence. It's a consistent law of human psychology. The person who speaks the loudest is the one who needs it the most, to be seen, to be heard, to be validated. And your success is the tool that fulfills that need. When that person applauds you, they're actually applauding themselves. I'm the kind of person who can be around people like this, they say. I know people of this caliber, they say. This is my circle, they say. You are a status symbol, a badge, proof, and badges, when their value fades, are discarded. Carl Jung wrote, The loudest voice of people is often the echo of the deepest void. They try to fill their voids with the success of others. When success fades, the void returns. And instead of facing that void, they seek another voice. The loudest voice is the one that falls silent fastest, because that voice was never yours to begin with. That voice belonged to that person's own need. And when the need goes unmet, the voice fades. I'm not saying this to belittle you. I'm saying this to protect you. Because the man who knows this truth doesn't fall for applause. He doesn't trust applause. He sees applause as a data point. And he seeks the real person in the silence behind the applause. Write this in the comments. The loudest voice doesn't fool me. The power of silence. Now let's look at the opposite. In that shining moment of success, the person who remained silent. They didn't congratulate you. They didn't applaud. Maybe they just looked at you. Maybe they sent a short message. Maybe they didn't say anything, but there was something in their eyes. And in that moment, you might have even felt disappointed. Why did they react so little? Why did they stay so silent? Stop. That silence, it wasn't coldness. That silence, it meant they already knew. Because the person who truly believes in you doesn't see your success as a surprise. They don't find your success unexpected. They don't say, "Wow, how did you do it?" Because they already knew. That person saw your darkness. They saw your doubts. They saw your fears. And even in that darkness, they believed in you. Quietly, without fanfare, with a faith that didn't come for free. And now that faith has become reality. For that person, this isn't a surprise. It's the confirmation of something already known. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "True trust is silent." Because where was that cheering crowd? Where were those voices saying, "I'm proud of you"? Where were those who said, "I'm always by your side"? Gone. Because a fall is not applauded. A fall doesn't grant status. A fall can never make anyone say, "I'm here too." A fall simply demands a heavy price, and those who aren't ready to pay the price, they vanish in the fall. But what about that quiet person? That person who claps less, shouts less, shows up less? They're still there, because that person never came for your success. That person came for you. This was Machiavelli's sharpest observation. Those who find you in your success came for your success. Those who find you in your fall, they came for you. This distinction is the most important distinction of your life. And to see this distinction, sometimes you have to fall. Falling is painful, but falling also brings the greatest clarity. Who is real? Who isn't? Who is with you? Who is only with your success? Write this in the comments. In my fall, I saw what I wanted to see. How do we lose these people? We're moving on to one of the harshest truths. The cheerleaders leave. We know this, we expect it. And to honest, it doesn't even hurt, because they weren't real to begin with. But losing the real people, that's different. And losing them, it's often our own doing. How? When success comes, the cheerleaders come. And the cheerleaders are loud, bright, exciting, energetic. There's always something happening around them. There's constant movement. And that quiet person, that real person, becomes less and less visible. Amid the noise, their voice goes unheard. Amid the crowd, their face goes unseen. And you, without even realizing it, are drifting away from that person. "I'm busy," you say. "We'll talk later," you say. "Let's meet up soon," you say. But soon never comes. And that person, quietly, steps back, without shouting, without complaining, without accusing, because a real person doesn't know how to wait at the door. A real person waits to be valued. And when they aren't valued, they quietly walk away. Sun Tzu wrote, "The most valuable resource remains invisible until it's lost. By the time it becomes visible, it's already too late." Don't lose that person. Don't let the noise fool you. Write this in the comments. The noise isn't really pushing me away. Which one are you? In others' lives, which one are you? Are you the one who claps? The one who appears in success but vanishes in failure? The one present in bright moments but absent in dark ones? Or are you the one who stays silent? The one who claps sparingly but is always there? The one who doesn't make a noise but never leaves? Because the cycle begins only with you. If you want a real person, be a real person. If you want someone to stand by you in your fall, stand by someone else in theirs. If you want someone who seeks action, not applause, be that action. This seems simple, but it isn't. Because clapping is easy. Being seen is easy. Being present in the bright moments is easy. But staying silent, paying the price, standing in the dark, being there without expecting anything in return, this is a rare act of humanity. Machiavelli wrote, "Before you seek what you desire, ask yourself if you deserve it. Because what you don't deserve, even if it comes to you, won't last. If you want to deserve that genuine person, first become that genuine person yourself." Write this in the comments. I am the one who remains silent. In this video, you faced many truths. You understood why applause is dangerous. You saw why the loudest voice is the one that falls silent the fastest. You understood the power of the one who remains silent. You learned who stays behind in the fall. You saw how we lost these people. And most importantly, you asked yourself, which one are you? After observing the crowds, Machiavelli wrote, "The strongest person is not the one who speaks the least. It is the one who needs to leave the least." The cheerleaders leave because they have to. Their calculations go awry, so they leave. But the real person doesn't leave, because leaving isn't part of that person's plan. Few in number, but indispensable. Quiet, but real. Hardly visible, but always there. You watch this video all the way to the end. That alone shows your difference. If you want to go deeper, to learn the invisible mechanics of human relationships, the true anatomy of trust, and how to recognize rare people, subscribe, turn on notifications, because the next video goes even deeper. Final affirmation, write in the comments. Not applause, action. That's my standard.